I'm Alice Scott, and I'm here talking with the CPL 5.2 team, and I'd like them all to introduce themselves to you.
Hi, I'm Tony Powers, branch manager at one of the 80 branches in the Chicago Public Library system.
Kimberly Hagan, branch manager of the Greater Grand Crossing branch, Chicago Public Library System.
Will Sumner, art librarian at the main library.
I'm Sarah Holtkamp. I'm a children's librarian at the Albany Park branch.
Lynn White, unit manager, business, history, and sciences at the Harold Washington Library Center.
Okay, well, you're all from different places, same library. This project is for I Lead You, so I wanted to ask you all, why did you actually want to do this project for I Lead You? What was the impetus for this?
I think probably one of the things that we considered, since we are all at different locations and we serve different audiences, we really had to concentrate on a common audience and what we all shared in common, and almost immediately GED users, students, prospective students came to all of our minds.
The one exception, I work in the art department, but I actually took a GED back in the late 70s. So,
Oh, interesting.
interesting idea.
Not online, I assume.
Little tiny circles, pencil. Yeah.
Anyone else care to comment?
Well, actually, one of the main problems we all had was that people would come in to want the books for the GED, and they were never on the shelf. They were always checked out or always lost. So we were looking for something that could kind of solve that problem.
And we also wanted something that could be used not only by ourselves, but for the rest of the librarians in our system. Something that could help our colleagues in addition to just what we did. We wanted our project to have some legs after the iLead experience, so I guess we'll wait and see if that'll happen.
All right. So what actually did you want your project to achieve, and do you think it has been successful so far? Did it succeed? What were your initial goals, and then do you think that you've succeeded in reaching those goals?
I think it's a work in progress, and I am fairly confident that our project is something that can be fairly easily replicated. From that standpoint, I think it's something that I feel good about in terms of success. We think that the topic of the GED and the resource that we've created can be used by any library system anywhere, rural, urban, suburban. So from that standpoint, I think it's something that we feel successful about.
I mean, I think a success is that we have made contact with people within the library system. We had a presentation to higher-ups in the library, and so we've got, and we've talked to various people who are players in the various aspects of the library presentation, library materials. So that's a success, is having that visibility to those
Sure.
folks.
What do you think your biggest challenge was? I mean, you're all from the same library, but obviously you're from different branches, so was that a challenge first or not?
That wasn't as much of a challenge as you think. It's actually really easy for us to communicate with each other, and we have central places where we can meet. But I think for us, the bigger challenge was dealing with the larger bureaucracy of the Chicago Public Library. It's a very large system, and there's a lot of checks and balances, and there's many bosses. And so everything has to be approved multiple times. And the further we got into the process, more people had opinions about what we were doing, what we were buying, how we were talking, what we were presenting. So I think that's a larger challenge, just figuring out how to navigate through our library system and still come out with a product that still reflected our goals without having it be watered down or changed too much, and also make it work for our library system, because ultimately that's what we want.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Anyone else have any particular challenges that you can think of?
I don't think we gave ourselves enough time to meet with the public and have the patrons use our product. So we don't really have a very large pool, but most of the patrons that we that used our product are happy with it.
You think it needs more beta testing?
Yes.
I think it needs to be an ongoing thing. We just to keep
Sure,
supplying
yeah.
new ideas and seeing what works.
Okay. With the benefit of hindsight, what do you think you might change about your original concept, if anything?
I think if I had a do-over, I would want to really go back to our original concept of having a tablet product as opposed to a laptop product. Because I think that tablets are probably going to be an increasingly used technology as opposed to laptops. And we were hindered in that respect in the sense that there were some system requirements, our own internal system requirements
Okay.
that worked against us in that respect. So I think I'd be a little bit stronger in my support of the tablet environment.
Does everyone feel kind of like that?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was-
We did a lot of flopping back and forth as to what kind of product we were going to use.
Like, I would have probably tried to clarify with the administration, like, what are our restrictions? Like, what can't we use?
Yes.
Right.
What are you guys looking at that you want to promote or introduce into the system? Yeah, I would have had that conversation way earlier, maybe at the beginning, than when we
Sure, yeah.
actually started wanting to buy things, like.
Yeah, I'd encourage next
Yeah.
year's team, whoever is coming from CPL, I would encourage them to really, because I think we had that conversation in July after, obviously
second
after we
session.
got back from the second session. So we were already knee deep in what we, like the grant writing and everything. So I would really encourage next year's team to meet with and talk to people sooner.
Okay, well, thank you all so much for being here and discussing this. It's been very interesting.
It's been
Thank
wonderful
you.
process.
Thank you for having us.